What's going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and welcome back to the Pokemon for Glory. This is going to be the week 11? Week 11. Team Builder, we are going up against my very good buddy, Galactic Elliot and the Chicago Cubchoos. Huge shout out to Galactic Elliot. He's a really nice guy, really genuine person, and I value that a lot in this community. So I'm really happy that I finally get to play him. I didn't get to play him in NPA last season, so that was a bummer. So now I'm getting to play him in P4G, and that makes me pretty happy. However, I'm not pretty happy that I have to face him with this team because it's kind of sort of spooky. He has a Mew, Thundee, Mega Blastoise, Metagross, Entei, Amoonguss, Granbull, Flygon, Cryogonal, Tauros, and Pangoro. If you do not remember what my team is, I'll go ahead and give you a little rundown. We have Mega Medicham. Oh, Togekiss, by the way, is Bill's mom. That's going to be Togekiss's nickname, Bill's mom, because I love Bill's mom, just like I love Togekiss. But Mega Medicham, Togekiss, Shaymin, Dragonite, Rhyperior, Gengar, Electros, Qwilfish, Empoleon, Darmanitan, and Linoone. Now, looking at the team matchup real quick, I'm just going to say his team is very threatening for mine. I do not have the best switch-ins to it, so I'm having to run a lot of berries this week. A lot of berries. However, there is a couple sets that just straight up run through his team if I can get his team weakened. And it's very easy for me to weaken his team, honestly. So a couple things to note. Entei is kind of sort of threatening versus my team if he runs Power Herb, Solar Beam. Otherwise, it's not that scary. Amoonguss is a little threatening because I struggle to kill it. Somewhat, not really, because I do have a Darmanitan and a Mega Medicham, so Amoonguss may not come, and because of that, I'm kind of sort of banking on that with one of my sets. Mega Blastoise is kind of a little bit of a threat. However, if you look at my team, I do have a lot that can pressure it. I have a Mega Medicham, I have a Togekiss, I have a Shaymin, I do have a Gengar, Electros, and I even have a Darmanitan that can pressure it because it forces it to come in. And when it forces it, oh, that's not what I wanted. But when it forces it to come in, it forces it to take chip damage. I can go directly out into my Shaymin on it, and I can continually force it to take some damage. So that's really important. Mew is kind of a threat for my team because I don't have a Dark type, so it can Calm Mind up on me and just run Mono Psychic. However, what it cannot do is come in for free against the team that I'm bringing. So that's really cool. Thundee is a threat. Not the biggest threat, but it is a threat. One of the biggest threats to my team, though, in my opinion, is Flygon. If he sets up one Dragon Dance, he can outspeed, quite literally, my entire team. He will outspeed Mega Medicham, Togekiss, Shaymin, Dragonite, Rhyperior. If I run Scarf Gengar, he won't outspeed that. Electros, Qwilfish, Empoleon, Darmanitan, and Linoone. And with the coverage of just Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and Fire Punch, he can run through my team. Dragon Claw. He would need Stone Edge for Togekiss. I'll give him that. So he'll need Stone Edge or Thunder Punch, more than likely Stone Edge, or Rock Slide. Then Fire Punch, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Earthquake. So in my opinion, I think that that Flygon is a pretty big threat for my team. So I do dislike that. But a couple things that I know are going to be coming. Mew, Thundee, Mega Blastoise, Granbull, I know for a fact is coming. The last two, I would assume, are going to be Metagross, because it can somewhat switch into Mega Medicham, it can switch into Togekiss, and it can get up rocks versus my team. And I believe it's his only Stealth Rocker. Pretty sure it's Mew. I don't know why I was blanking on that. And then Entei, I think, is going to be the final one. So there's a bunch of things that he could bring versus my team, and the team that I built is actually pretty unique, so I'm pretty proud of it. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off with my win con, which is going to be my Gengar. This is just going to be an Expert Belt Gengar, max speed to speed tie with his Tauros. Sludge Wave, Shadow Ball, Psychic, Energy Ball, nukes everything. Shadow Ball, Energy Ball, Shadow Ball, Psychic, Sludge Wave, Shadow Ball. Yeah, Cryogonal can wall it a little bit. Sludge Wave, and then Pangoro is a little bit of a threat. I probably should run... I'm going to take off Psychic for Dazzling Gleam. I'm going to do that, because I haven't gen the team yet, so I can do that. But I'm going to run Dazzling Gleam just so I can hit Pangoro, and I do not want Pangoro to Pursuit Trap me, and Expert Belt, Dazzling Gleam always OHKOs it. But it literally nukes his entire team. He doesn't have a switch into it, and that makes me happy. And if I'm able to get Mega Blastoise a little bit weakened, Energy Ball does a million. So that's good. So this is going to be the main win con that I want to win with. If you don't know how I team build, if this is like one of your first videos with me, I always ask myself, how do I want to win and how can I set up to win? And what Gengar struggles with on his team is Thundy Eye, wearing down Amoonguss, and then making sure that Cryogonal and Flygon are pressured enough. And then potentially Pangoro. So I'm building this team trying to weaken them, and then I can sweep with Mega... I don't know why I keep saying Mega Gengar. Do not know why. But then I can sweep with Gengar late game. So I need to really focus on building around trying to weaken Gengar's checks. And Rhyperior, believe it or not, does that immaculately. Immaculately. So I'm bringing Iron Head, Earthquake, Ice Punch, Rock Polish, Adamant 244 in speed. I believe that allows me to outspeed max speed Thundy Eye. I believe. Yep, I outspeed max speed Thundy Eye. With one Rock Polish up, I will outspeed his entire team. Iron Head, Earthquake, Ice Punch, and then Rock Polish. This does an insane amount of damage to his team. I believe Adamant Ice Punch from my Rhyperior Okos it. I want to just double check this real quick before I join the team. Yep, does 87 to 102. So if I have rocks up, I'm guaranteed to kill this thing. That's super important. However, as you can see, my Empoleon is back here, so I will have rocks. So that's super, super cool. If I can have rocks up, guaranteed kill it, and that makes me happy. I love that. Iron Head is there pretty much just for Granbull. Believe it or not, I don't even think it makes much of a difference from Earthquake to Iron Head. Yeah, see, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. However, I do not want to risk missing a Rock Slide against, what's it called? Against Thundy. So I would rather run Iron Head, potentially flinch down Granbull a little bit, get it a little bit weakened, and then I can still go ahead and I can set up later on in the game if I really needed to. Also, there's a very good chance he may not even bring Granbull. Definitely think he will for Mega Medicham, but it's still a possibility that he won't. Ultimately, though, this set can just set up and break down everything that Gengar struggles with. Pretty much like Thundy, because Thundy outspeeds it. That's the big one. So, Rindoberry is there just because I want to be able to set up on Entei and blow it back with an Earthquake. How do you set up on an Entei? You run Rindoberries, that way you can't run Power Herb, Solar Beam, and Oko-U. And it works. So, I really, really like this. Really, really like this. Next up, we have Shaymin. We have the Akaberry Shaymin, again, for Entei. It allows me to live a Sacred Fire, and I can click Earth Power against it, weaken it for Gengar, because Gengar cannot one-shot with Shadow Ball. After an Earth Power, it can. With this defensive spread, with this much speed, I guarantee outspeed a timid max speed Mega Blastoise, meaning I can always hit, go for Seed Flare against it, do about 80% to it, instantly putting it in range of Earthquake from my Rhyperior, or Energy Ball from my Gengar. And I can actually Synthesis up on it if he's not offensive. Like, if he's Fizz Death to try to take on my Darmanitan, Ice Beam doesn't do that much to me, believe it or not. I believe it does like 40% minimum. Shaymin. I'm timid, 172, right? Yeah. Versus... I really want to show you guys just how little this can do. Boop. Boop. Then we'll go Ice Beam. As you can see, Ice Beam does 50% maximum. So he needs two really, really, really good rolls. So it is possible. However, this spread allows me to also tank some of his more physically offensive threats. I don't know why I keep going to that spreadsheet, but it allows me to tank the Metagross, Granbull, Flygon, even if he does have Fire Punch, Tauros, and Pangoro as well. So While I may not be able to take a bunch from the Mega Blastoise or even take one hit if he crits me, I can wear down his physical threats a lot, and I do still have some pretty good ways of wearing down the Mega Blastoise. And Seed Flare is just an absolute nuke. I love it so much. And as you can see, I do have Dazzling Gleam there just to be able to hit Pangoro as well. So I have ways of wearing down Mega Blastoise. I have a setup sweeper that can wear down his entire team, especially Thundy I and Mew. So now I need a little bit of pivoting to try to force in his Blastoise, to drop in Shaymin, to drop in Gengar, to drop in Togekiss. And the way I'm going to do that is with Choice Scarf, Darmanitan. It's a very easy bring for me this week. U-turn, Flare Blitz, Rock Slide, and Toxic. Toxic is there just for his Mega Blastoise. I'm able to just go ahead and Toxic it. If I can Toxic it, it's not a threat to me. I'm not worried about it at all. It'll be worn down enough for Energy Ball in 3 turns, so it's not that big of a deal. And then U-turn, Flare Blitz, Rock Slide, just nukes everything. So I really like this coverage. Enough speed for, what is it? Entei? Adamant Entei? I believe it's Adamant Entei. So I can nuke a lot. I can click Rock Slide against it, do a whole lot of damage to it. And with this HP investment, Extreme Speed does not one-shot me after rocks, so that's pretty cool. I really like the spread. And I really like Darmanitan in general. I think it's, honestly, in my opinion, I truly believe that Darmanitan is one of the best fire types in the Draft League format, just because it's able to so easily get pivoting, force in switches, and it mandates that you bring a bulky water type for it. So I really like that. I kind of wish I had a better electric type on this team, but I definitely think Darmanitan can do a lot of work for me this game. So once I force in Mega Blastoise, I can go into Shaymin on the U-turn, click Seed Flare, force in a bunch of things, or I could go into my Gengar, click Energy Ball, and kill it. So there's a bunch that I can do with Darmanitan. And one thing that I need to ensure that I have so that Flygon does not sweep me is a Charty Berry Togekiss. This is a very good switch into a lot of his special offensive threats, such as Mew, Thundy I. I can live a hit from Thundy I, believe it or not. I can beat Amoonguss 1v1. If he wants to bring a special Flygon, I beat that, and with Charty Berry, Dazzling Gleam plus Stealth Rock's OHKO it. And then it also stops things like a special Tauros if he brings that, if he's locked into a special move. So if he's locked into like Earthquake or Ice Beam or Thunderbolt, something like that. But Spadef is there pretty much just so I can also take hits from Mega Blastoise a little bit easier. If he is this Fizdef set that I'm expecting him to be, my Togekiss doesn't really take a whole lot from it, believe it or not. I think I have 100 and Calm, I believe, is my spread. I believe. So yeah, as you can see, if he is Fizdef, Ice Beam does 40% maximum. I can roost that off, and that's pretty important. And I guarantee outspeed Modest Mega Blastoise, I believe. What is it? Uninvested Blastoise? Or like a speed creeping Blastoise. I outspeed a good variant of Blastoise, so that's pretty cool. And Dazzling Gleam, Roost, Air Slash, Defog. I can defog away rocks. No, I know what this spread is. It is for this. It's for that. Right there, right? Ooh, I speed tie with it. That is no bueno. Boop. There we go. That's better. I'm glad I double checked that. So I outspeed Pangoro 100% of the time. If he's banded, can just nuke it with a Dazzling Gleam. That makes me happy. And I still take less than 50% from an Ice Beam, so if I don't have rocks up on my side of the field, I can always take care of it. So overall, Togekiss is there just to be a really good pivot to hopefully weaken down Amoonguss if he brings it, which can stop my Gengar, because as you see, I do not have Psychic anymore. And to potentially bait in Metagross to force it to take a hit from my Togekiss or from my Darmanitan, Shaymin, or Rhyperior. My Empoleon is the last mon. I am Chople Berry with Stealth Rocks, Toxic, Scald, and Grass Knot. This is going to be my main switch in to Mega Blastoise, as you can see, with 103 base speed versus Blastoise Mega. I believe I outspeed completely uninvested. Yeah, I outspeed completely uninvested by a couple points. I can click Grass Knot against it. It does about 40%, instantly putting in range of Energy Ball from my Gengar or 2 Earthquakes from my Rhyperior if he tries to switch into it. So that's really, really important. Also, Toxic is there because one of his best switch-ins to Empoleon is probably going to be his Mew. And I can Togekiss Mew turn 1, and I don't have to worry about it bouncing back onto my Empoleon, and that's pretty cool. Scald plus Stealth Rocks is just really important versus this team. Chople Berry is there, so I can always switch into Mega Blastoise. If he wants to click Ice Beam expecting Togekiss, and I go into this, I have Chople Berry. I can live 2 Aura Spheres, I believe. Maybe 1, and the second one is a roll. Something like that. But I can guarantee get off some really good damage with Grass Knot, which is really important for my team. But that is pretty much the team. I'm focusing it heavily around hoping that these berries all proc and that Gengar can come in late game and hopefully sweep. But I'm really excited. I really like Gengar. Also, if all else fails, his only way of checking Darmanitan is Mega Blastoise. Worst case scenario, late game, I send in Darmanitan and I click Flare Blitz 4 times and get 4 kills. So that is also a strong possibility. But guys, with that, I'm going to go ahead and hop on out of here. Thank you all again so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like down below. Also, make sure you go over to Galactic Elliot's channel, show him some love for me if you would, and also make sure you let me know down in the comment section below what your favorite mon on this team is. I really like this Rhyperior set. Really like the Rhyperior set. But guys, as I said, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you all again so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.